We are Cruising Family, and we're going to show you how we do our last minute packing. So packing for a trip, there's no wrong way to do it as long as you get all of the things you need into your luggage and ready to go before your trip starts. If you are used to our channel, you know we are a family of 5. We have a 10, 11, and 12-year-old. And my wife and I, we are in charge of most of the family packing. So we not only have to coordinate for ourselves, but we also have to make sure that our children are ready to go as well. One thing that we like to do is to set everything out so that we can see kind of where we're at, where we've been. You can see, and this is a last minute packing video, but you can see we are more than a little bit packed, and we are into the last final stuff. But to start off, we had a checklist for all of our kids. Bring X amount of tops, X amount of bottoms, swimsuits, shoes, socks, underwear, the whole 9. We made sure that they knew what was expected to bring out. And then once they brought it out, my wife and I, mostly my wife, I don't want to take the bulk of the credit, it was my wife, got our kids to go through what they had and what they still needed. So we are going for a 2-week trip. It's kind of 2 trips in one. We're going to tour New York. If you've been on our channel, you know that that's kind of like what we're leading up to here. We're going to go to New York, and then we're going to go on a cruise from New York. One huge way that we, as a family of 5, stay organized while we're on a long trip or on a cruise is by using packing cubes. You're able to organize your belongings into those packing cubes nicely. You know, shorts, shirts, pants. But another big tip is having different colored packing cubes helps immensely, because you're able to easily look around and say, oh, this is Brandon's, this is Natalie's. I know that's Grace's because it's pink. So if you're in the same boat that we are and have a large family, consider packing cubes, and consider packing cubes of different colors so that you guys can keep things organized even as you're living out of your suitcase or in your temporary home. Something that we're trying out this go around is, and we've done this before where we've had backpacks, but we got backpacks that open up kind of like a suitcase, like it has the compartment for kind of like, the inside looks kind of like this. This is a hard shell, but this one opens up like that. So having some of the stuff being able to be taken on, and then also obviously some of the stuff that we're going to check. And we've already pre-purchased our bags, so we know that we have 5, and then these, because they're backpacks, are a personal item. You know, a backpack or a purse is a personal item. Plus, you can take one carry-on as well. We're not planning on doing any carry-ons, just the backpack, just the personal item. So, if need be, we could, because we had the luggage already, we could upgrade. So, something to consider is getting a backpack that can hold, a couple of days worth of items. My wife tried it out on a recent trip. She used her carry-on backpack only and was able to do 2 days easily inside of there. I'd say you probably get 5 or 6 days if you really wanted to inside of one of those backpacks. But we don't travel light. So we need the extra space. And if you're going places that you're going to buy souvenirs or anything like that, something to also consider is how are you going to get it home? Are you going to have it shipped by the place you're purchasing it from, or is there going to be space inside of the luggage that you've brought? So we're preparing for souvenirs to be purchased and brought home. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is having a trip binder. And you don't have to do this. It just helps me stay organized. But I make a binder, I take a folder, I put all of our pertinent documents inside of it, receipts, confirmation, emails, all of that. If I had it my way, I would only use technology. I've never print anything off, but I've been in too many situations where the technology fails, where I don't have something, I can't get on the internet, and having the physical copy without having to search through emails and those sorts of things has saved me more than once. So in this binder, I make, you can see here, I make an itinerary with all of our confirmation information. I put, those numbers, some of the addresses, and other important information. And then inside the binder, it serves a dual purpose, because inside the binder, like I said, all of those, let's turn it around here. All of those documents that I was just talking about go inside this folder. I make sure to pack a pen. Always nice to have something to write with. You're not having to worry about other people. And then there's other spots for other things. Because we're going on a cruise also, not just to New York, but we also have our our luggage tags. So the luggage tag just slides in there. And then we have, there's a little metal, there is a little metal fastener that fastens onto it, and it gets it. And then I also, Hani with Beach Life, The Beach Life, had suggested this a long while back. I totally ripped it off and stole it, use it as my own, and now tell other people to do it. So definitely not my original idea, but it's very nice to have a hard surface if you're needing to write. If you're in locations that you're needing to write. So consider that. Again, not a must, but definitely something that I find useful, and something that it's for traveling. It stays inside this binder. I reuse the binder. We travel enough to just have it there, ready to go when we're ready to travel. But definitely something to consider if you are packing, if you're getting ready to go on a trip. Consider having your pertinent information in one spot, and you don't have to go look anywhere else for it. All right, so like I just mentioned, we're gonna have carry-on bags, backpacks. I have mine packed to the T because I have all of the vlogging stuff. This camera, my DJI GoPro. I have headphones for the plane, and I also have backup batteries, charging cords. My whole charging system is located in here, and then I also have some of my clothes because I don't have room in my luggage. But with that said, I'm going to show you some of the things that I do with my tech, especially if you're like a creator thinking, oh, how am I going to organize all this? My wife, about 2 years ago, said, hey, Nick, why don't we go ahead and get something that we can organize all of our cords, right? Because there are 5 of us. We don't travel light with technology. I know that lots of people are like, when I travel, I want to travel and this... not be in the tech world, all that stuff, but we don't do it that way. Some of the ways that we relax is with technology. So we have some of our power cords here, different strips, wipes for the lenses, all sorts of great stuff to have. It's nice and organized. This thing I bought on Amazon. I don't remember the name of it. It says great. I don't think that's the name of But you can look on Amazon like a cord or power cord organizer. They have lots of them. I went with this. It looked like it was compact enough, but had lots of room for storage. And you can see there's compartment on the other side, compartment in the front. Lots of ways to really get things in the right spot. So if you have a family, everybody has their own, their own tablet, or they have their own phone. You have a camera, you have headphones. You're probably going to need something like this because there are lots of things that need to get charged inside of them. And then as far as my other like camera, I also have taken a packing cube and I designated it just for my camera stuff. I put lots of things in here. Like things that attach to the GoPro. I actually have both. I have the GoPro in here. Power cord for the cruise ship. I'm going to put another one in. I need to do that in a little bit. Different connections so that we can plug in. And I actually also have my my drone, my hover camera, charging pad for iPhone. All sorts of stuff that aren't necessarily cords, but need to be organized, need to be put together, and that way I have it at my fingertips. One of my kids is like, "Oh, my device ran out of power," like 2 minutes into the flight. We have it at our fingertip. We can make that charge, and I also have individual batteries, two external batteries, and inside of this backpack, I also have the batteries for the GoPro and all of that great stuff. So I really work to try to stay organized with it. There is a lot, and we do a pretty basic content creation. We're not like super high tech like some people. I do a lot of my editing on the phone. I do a lot of my production on the phone. So the camera and the phone are my two big things that I need to keep charged. And as the video hints towards, like, this is last minute, right? This is the very end. And the best thing I can tell you for the very end is to go through that mental checklist. And hopefully you started with a checklist, like, this is what we're gonna pack. And then just start going through your mental checklist and work with your partner or the people you're traveling with. If you're traveling alone, you have a lot more legwork to do and making sure that you're prepared. But just go through that checklist a couple of times and work really hard to make sure that you aren't packing up until you have to leave. We make a point to make sure that we're done a little bit ahead of time. So although I'm talking about like last minute packing, for us, this is last minute packing. We do have a couple things still left to put in. I need to figure out how to get my shoes into my luggage. I need to figure out my toiletries, where I'm gonna put those, what I'm gonna bring. And then a couple other things. We have a Target run coming home. So we definitely still have other things to put in there. So with all that said, I wanna hear from you guys. What is your packing like? What is your last minute packing tips or tricks? Things that help you stay on track, keep focused, and pack the things that you need. What are those things in your repertoire? Leave them down in the comments below. It would really help us out if you could just interact just a little bit. If you have questions about some of the things I've talked about, comment down below, and then if there's something I missed, I just completely skipped over, let me know about that too. So we really appreciate you sticking out all the way to the end of this video. If you haven't done so yet, consider giving us a thumbs up. If you're not following us, consider subscribing to our channel. We bring informational videos like this to you, and the biggest reason I do it is because it's how I also learn. So and thanks so much. You guys have a super awesome day, and we'll see you around. Bye.